Hey everybody, it's Modern Refugee. It's raining this morning, so I decided I was going to do some canning in the house. Got some apples, basically out of the ditch. I know several places around here where there's fruit trees that have just came up wild in the ditch, and the apples have been really, really good this year. We've had a lot of apples. Plus, we've got the apples that are on my tree. They're a little bit later, so I'm going to use those to wrap to put up kind of for cold storage. But I decided I was going to make some applesauce today, like Mom and Grandma used to make it. And applesauce, of course, was used as a side dish, but it was also used in different recipes, and that's what I remember Mom and Grandma doing with the applesauce. They would put a cup of applesauce in a pork roast. They would make apple bran muffins. They would make applesauce cake, applesauce coffee cake. So there's a lot of baked goods where they would put applesauce in, kind of in the place of water or milk for the moisture in different recipes. But I got about 12 pounds of apples here. I've got half a pound for the bowl. But I got 12 pounds of apples here, what I'm going to start. I'm hoping I can get about 8 or so pints out of this. I got plenty of apples, but I'm going to do some other stuff with some of them there. But I'm going to try to keep this recipe precise for you guys so you know exactly what 12 pounds of apples will produce. But anyway, I'm going to start peeling them here with my peeler in a bowl. Of course, the scraps, the peelings, the cores and stuff, you can save that if you wish to make your scrap apple vinegar, or you can just put it in a compost. I already got tons of vinegar made here, so I'm probably just going to compost these this time around. But anyway, I'm going to get started here, slice these up, get them in the pot, tell you guys how to do that. All right, guys, after about an hour's worth of peeling, I got my apples in the pot here. One thing about like roadside apples and apples that you don't buy, of course, there's no pesticide or anything that's sprayed on those apples, so you're going to have more waste. And it's one of the things when you use apples that you find like that, you might have to adjust how many apples you got, and that's what I did. I added a few more apples into this because I had a little bit more waste than what I thought from the beginning. It's just one of those things that you're gonna have to take on a case-by-case basis. I think I peeled up 6 or 7 more apples in this pot right here. Now, when I started this, I put a half a cup of water in here, and I put about 3 tablespoons of bottled lemon juice. Grandma would always put in a little bottled lemon juice and a little water to start, and then I just peeled the apples, dropped them in here, broke them up, and started stirring them. And another thing, when you're at this point here where the apples still got a little bit of shape to them, you're going to want to stir these really, really good, because there's always a seed or a little piece of peeling that makes its way into the pot. I've already picked a couple of them out here, but I think I got most of them now. But you want to do a really good thorough stir before you get ready to mash them or puree them down, however you decide you want to do it, to make sure that you don't have any foreign matter like seeds or anything in there. Because, oh, there's one, there's my seed. See, there's always one that finds its way in. And got to show that to you there, so you make sure that I'm not making that up or nothing. But yeah, you always want to stir it through good. Make sure that you don't have any seeds or little pieces of peeling that find their way in. Now, at this point, you can add your sugar into it, or any spices that you like. You can put in cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, apple pie spice, whatever you got. Mom and Grandma wouldn't usually put that in. They would put that in when they would use it, if they wanted that in. But they would add sugar, and here's where Mom and Grandma's recipe would differ from the regular canning recipes. Most canning recipes, when they say to put sugar into applesauce, it's going to be a white sugar, where Mom and Grandma would always use brown sugar when they made applesauce. And for this recipe here, I'm using about a cup of a packed light brown sugar, and we're just going to stir that in to give it a little extra sweetness. And of course, if you don't want the sugar in, you don't have to put the sugar in as well. You can leave the sugar out, but brown sugar is what they would always put in, just to give it that little bit of added extra flavor. And of course, the spices, that's by taste too. So if you want it, you can put it in. If you don't want to put it in, you don't have to either. And a little bit on the gadgets. I got this from one of those Pampered Chef parties about 15 years ago, and I got another one here, an antique one that was Mom and Grandma, so I got 2, like a lot of my gadgets. But these apple peelers, when you're processing a large amount of apples like this, it's sort of a unitasker. You don't use it for a lot of things, but if you're processing a bunch of apples, it's nice to have one of these in with your preps and with your tools. Like I said, you don't use it very often, but when you do use it, it really, really comes in handy. And I've used one of these for a long time, peeling large batches of apples like this. Now, anyway, I'm going to let this cook for a little bit. And when this cooks down and gets a little bit softer, you can either use a hand blender, or you can use a potato masher to mash these and get the applesauce consistency the way you like it. If you want it chunky, you're going to use just a potato masher and leave the bits in. Or if you want like a more traditional applesauce, you'll use a hand blender, and that will puree this down so it's good enough then so we can can it. Alright guys, I use the hand blender to expedite the process. You could certainly do that with a potato masher. Mom and Grandma always used a potato masher, but I sort of speeded it up a little bit by using that. It's one of the things that I like to do. And now basically all I'm going to do is fill this into my my clean sterilized jars here. And when I got these jars filled, I'm going to take a knife and run it down to make sure there's no air bubbles in the applesauce whatsoever. You want it to be solid all the way down. And then I'm going to process them in a hot water bath canner for 15 minutes. You want to wipe the rim with a moist piece of paper towel, and then put your hot rim on and tighten it down finger tight. Got all 8 pints in the hot water bath canner. Left a good ½ inch of headspace for expansion. We're going to bring this up to a boil, and then we're going to hot water bath these for 15 minutes. And this is the best part of any jam, jelly, applesauce, fruit butter making event is the little bit that's left in the pot. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to taste a little bit of this for you guys. It tastes great. It's fresh. It's got that pop from a little bit of lemon juice. And it's got that unique sweetness that only the brown sugar can give it. I've had applesauce with white sugar before, but I've always preferred it with the brown sugar like what I made for you guys here today. And anyway, when my 15 minutes is up there on my hot water bath canner, we'll show you what the finished product looks like. Here are the finished 8 pints. It's been about an hour since I took them out of the 15-minute hot water bath, and everything has sealed. Now they're ready to go in the pantry after they sit here for 24 hours, and then we'll have them for whatever we need it for this winter. Just wanted to take a few minutes to show you guys how to make applesauce. It's one of the simple and easiest canning projects to work on is applesauce, because the sugar that's involved and the acidity in the apples, they're easy to do with just a hot water bath canner. And wanted to kind of mention that there are fruit trees growing all over the place, and sometimes you can find them just like I did with this one here, just growing in a random ditch somewhere that we're just going to go to waste anyway. So exploit every resource you can possibly find, especially in this day and age when everything is so expensive. But I appreciate all my subscribers out there. Hope you guys got a little information and a little entertainment out of this video here, just showing you how to make applesauce. Anyway, you guys have a good one.